So we can now call the meeting to order, and we've established a quorum with 5 members here. So we'll dispense with the Pledge of Allegiance, since we're not doing it in the meeting room, and we don't have flags out here, and we'll go straight to new hearings. Forgot, I think we need to re-elect officers at some point, because I don't know who the secretary is right now. Did we elect, does anybody recall? It's been like, I don't think we met since last November and then last month, but.
No.
Does anyone here recall?
I don't think we did.
I can't hear anybody for some reason. Nolan, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry.
I still can't hear anybody. So this is not, whatever I did with my dual screen is not working. Let me try this. Somebody say something? Can somebody say something?
Yep. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. All right. I can't hear you guys for some reason. Let me. Same as system, so. I can. Okay. Jason, I can't hear you. I can't hear anyone. And
Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Not
fine.
if you can.
Yep.
All right. Now let me try something. And it's either, I'm gonna try to plug in my earphones and see if that works. Because it's not coming over my computer for some reason. And it was for a while until I so we can get the meeting going. I apologize for this. I guess Zoom has still got to work out some of the bugs here. Let me see this. Can you try to talk now?
Yeah, how about now?
Hi.
Nah. All right. Wow, it's loud too. That's a good. Where's my volume? Where's my volume? I'm gonna go deaf here. Just lower the volume a little bit. Okay. All right.
How's
So
that?
I've called I've called the meeting to order. We've established the quorum. If somebody can somebody have the legal notice they can read, or do you want me to read it? I don't think we have a secretary. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it here.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
New hearing, ZBA 2020-03, application of Warehouse Point Fire Department for property located at 89 Bridge Street for a variance of section 501, bulk and area requirements to allow the proposed addition 18 feet plus or minus from the rear property line where 30 feet is required. A variance of section 501 to allow 27.1 plus or minus percentage building coverage where 20% is required. The variance of 8% is being requested. The property is owned by the applicant and is identified as map 111, block 12, lot 002, zoning district B-1.
Okay. So we got the notice. The way we're going to do this, and just explain for those people that are attending that want to speak, we're going to allow the applicant to present first, followed by any questions by the commission, by the board, and then we'll open it up to the public. So I see Mr. Ussery is here for the applicant. If you want to mute yourself, are you going to be sharing the screen also?
Yes, for the record, Jay Ursary, J.R. Russo and Associates. Yeah, I will be sharing the screen. Well, I will attempt to share the screen and put a plan up that we can all look at.
All
We'll
right,
start with that, see where it gets us.
sounds good.
So again, Jay Ursary, J.R. Russo here representing the Warehouse Point Volunteer Fire District. Chief Barton is here as well, should we have any questions for him. But this is an application for 2 variances to allow an addition to the existing firehouse located in Warehouse Point. And at that point now, let me go to share screen and see if I can get our plan up here so we can take a look at it. Can everybody see that?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, let me go back. Hold on.
Where's your technical assistant?
He's here. He just got home from the gym. I think he's in the shower.
I assume you have the permission to do that. So
I believe so.
You need him, Jay?
Yep.
You do?
Hold on one second. How's
there
that?
we starting. Yep, there we go.
There we go. All right, success. I didn't even need him. So here's the Warehouse Point Fire Department down in the center of Warehouse Point. I think we're all pretty familiar with it. We're right across the street from Geisler's. And what we're proposing to do here now is an addition. This crosshatch area is the existing building. To the west or to the right of the plan is the bank. To the rear is St. John's Episcopal Church. The gray area that we're showing here is the addition that we're proposing, which is about 5,400 square feet. There'll be 4 new bay doors, a pass door. And for the most part, it's located on an existing concrete pad that's already there. So in terms of impervious coverage, it doesn't make a large change in terms of the total site impervious coverage, but in building coverage it does, because currently the concrete pad obviously is not a building. So this is a variance for 2 things. We're looking for a variance of the rear yard setback, which in this case is located right here. And then we're looking for a variance of the building coverage. And if you read the application, and I'm assuming we all looked at the little narrative that I added, and as well as you have a memo from Mike D'Amato, your town planner, which kind of goes through the same thing. And we're talking about a couple of different things. With regard to the site itself, this is a property that was purchased by the fire department back in 1951. So it predates all of the zoning requirements and zoning regulations in East Windsor. The original building was built somewhere around 1963, according to the assessor's records. There was an addition added to the rear of the building in the 70s. And at that time, we were told that actually there was a variance that may have been granted, but because of COVID, we weren't able to get into the clerk's office to find that variance. And the fire department, looking through their records, wasn't able to find it. So we're not sure whether that actually happened or not, but I think no matter with this addition, we're probably increasing the size of the building and would likely need another variance anyway. So when we look at the back of the addition, and I'm going to show you right here where my cursor is, we're looking at an 18-foot setback dimension from the corner of that new addition to the property line. And the rear yard requirement is 30 feet. So a variance is necessary there. And if you read the, again, read the narrative that we submitted along with that, we're looking for a variance of 13 feet to allow that setback. With regard to the coverage of the building itself, we're adding about 5,400 square feet of new building space. And right now, the maximum building coverage allowed in the B1 zone is 20%. This increases us up to about 27.1% in terms of the building coverage. So we're looking for a variance here of about 8% to allow the addition to take place. So in looking at hardships, I guess, we look at this particular property and see that it was purchased by the fire department back in the early 50s, building built in 63, again, predating zoning. Obviously, a lot of things have changed over the years in terms of the type of emergency response equipment we have in terms of fire departments and medical assistance and those types of things, and it's changed dramatically. And this is not a big parcel of land. When they purchased it, it hasn't changed. They never got any more land, and the lot size here. Let me tell you, what do we have? Spoke too soon. It's not that big, and I'm looking at my data block and I'm not seeing it, but hold on. Let me get the full plan set out here.
We're looking for the area of the lot?
Yeah, I was looking for the total lot area, Jose.
Yeah, I think it is. It's the second item in the data block, says minimum area. 15,000 square feet, and you got, if I read it right, 48 something?
Yes, 46,114.
Yeah, that's the second item in your data
Yeah,
block that you got on the screen.
It's just over an acre in size, so it's not that large of a lot in terms of what we look at today and the size of a fire department when you look around at other towns and even East Windsor for that matter. This being one of the areas that probably gets a lot of calls, maybe more than Broadbrook, if I had to guess, although I'm not positive of that. But the need for this addition is there, and we think the hardship is there due to the fact that the property was purchased long before zoning regulations ever existed. And we think certainly in terms of public safety that there's a need here and a real hardship in terms of being able to expand. So that's a basic overview of the application. If anybody has any questions, I could try to answer them for you, or Chief Barton, I'm sure, could if I can't.
Hey, Jay, my one question would be, you're increasing the coverage on the lot, and obviously that increases the amount of runoff that's coming off the property and being able to absorb. Are you proposing any new drainage improvements, or just going to use the existing?
There is. That's a good question, and there's an application actually that we just submitted to planning and zoning that actually and has been before wetlands. It was approved. There will be a new drainage basin located over here at the southeast corner, which is going to provide detention and some treatment that currently is not there. So the detention will take care of any of the storm events in terms of any increases downstream in the Blue Ditch. And we know from past experience here that there are some issues with some of the culvert crossings at Spring Street and Holcomb Street with flooding in this area. So normally this close to the river, we may not have detained, but in this particular situation, we felt that it was necessary. Len Norton, your town engineer, has reviewed it and really didn't have any comments in terms of what we were doing. So that's a good question. There is detention and treatment that's going to be provided, which will certainly be a benefit to this particular site, because there really isn't anything there now. It's all sheet flow right off the side into the Blue Ditch.
Thank you. That's the only question I had. Anyone else have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
No one? Is there anyone here in the public that wants to say anything or have any questions? Either write it in the chat room or raise your hand, and I guess Jason can, whoever's running the meeting, can allow you to speak. So Steve Smith
There is a
that-
question in,
Yeah,
in the text box from Steve Smith.
yeah, I see that. And the question is, has any adjacent properties commented? Not to my knowledge. I don't know if, we don't have any staff.
Yeah, J. Ursary, J.R. Russo, I'm not aware of any comments. Notices were sent out as required in your regulations, and the certificates of mailing were sent to the planning office. Signs were posted on the property with regard to the pending application, and we checked those as of this afternoon, and the signs were still there.
Okay, and I'm looking at the participant list and trying to find out if there's anybody other than, I see there's that Sarah Musk is on there, and I do see James Barton there, so I assume they're with you guys. Unless Sarah has something that she wants to ask or say or comment on. The only non-member that I see there. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Chief Barton here.
Okay.
I just
Gotcha.
wondering if, I just wanted to make a couple comments, like as Jay stated. What we're basically doing this for is the fire apparatus you buy today is not the fire apparatus you bought in 1963. What we run into is a problem with our existing bay doors are too small to even put the new fire trucks in. And that's the basic need for this addition. The doors are going to be much larger. It gives us more room with the new emission stuff on the new trucks. They're a lot higher than they were with the suspension, because of the weight and the water that's in them. The trucks required now are a lot higher than they were back in the day. And we currently only have 12-foot doors on our building. We only have one 12-foot door. The other ones in the front are 10-foot doors. So that's the problem we are running into.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? So I see none.
No one's waving.
Oh, Nolan, go ahead. Go ahead, Nolan.
I was just wondering what the concrete pad is currently being used for, and is it completely structurally sound, be able to build right on top of it, or is that going to need to be rebuilt?
Yeah, here's J.R. Russo. The concrete pad will be removed. We will need to put down a new foundation and a new slab to match the existing floor elevation of the building. Currently, there's a storage shed, if you will, or garage that's located on the pad. Other than that, I'm not sure, truthfully, what it is used for, and maybe Chief Barton could elaborate a little more on that.
Yeah, that rear bay is where our ladder truck is stored right now. And basically that concrete pad replaces the asphalt. That truck is 86,000 pounds. So where it comes out when it turns and everything, the concrete is a lot better than asphalt. It's a lot stronger. That's what that's for.
Okay, thank you.
Call from Tufts University. Call from
All right.
Tufts University.
Anyone else that I can see? No one else is. So I guess we'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing at this time. If anybody wants to.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Okay, made by Mr. Noble, second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Nolan. And all those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Say aye. Any opposed? No, I see Mr. Smith said aye. So in the chat room. So the hearing's closed. We need, I guess for now we'll entertain a motion to for the main to approve, I guess, and then we can have a discussion. Anyone want to make a motion to approve it as presented?
All right, I will. I'll make a motion to approve ZBA 2020-3 application of Warehouse Point Fire Department for their addition.
Any second?
I will second.
Okay, Nolan Davis will second. And any discussion?
Well, I would say that I believe it's important to have the fire department downtown in the community where, in the commercial area where most of the buildings are. And it's our duty on the board and as citizens to do what we can to keep them in that area and not force them out to find a larger parcel. So I think this is a good move, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Okay, any other commissioners want to, or board members want to have any discussion? No, I certainly agree that this lot was purchased way before zoning was instituted in the town, and the fact that you know the way firefighting has evolved over the last 60 years or so certainly presents a unique challenge that I think is being met, and it still has to go through planning and zoning to make sure all the drainage and everything else works. So I would have no problem voting in favor of this for those reasons. So if there's no other further discussion, all those in favor of approving the variance as presented and as shown on the plans, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, wow, there's an echo. No one, anyone opposed? I see no one opposed, so the motion carries. Congratulations, everyone. And I see Stephen Smith just voted aye through the chat room, so. Thank you, and if you could just stop sharing your screen, okay, we'll get on with the meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see what else we get. Next order on the agenda is other business. Anyone have any other business to report? No?
No.
Okay, public participation. Anyone in the public that wants to say anything or regarding either raise your hand or let us know through the chat. Seeing none, no one in the public wants to say, so we'll move on. Approval of minutes from November 2nd, 2020. We have a motion to approve, get it on the floor for discussion.
You just lost it?
Yeah, turn your.
Lou,
Hi. Before
Hi.
we do approval, I have they don't have me down as a regular member on the commission. They have me down as an alternate on the last minutes.
oh, okay.
And
So
I've been a
we'll make
regular
that.
for a year.
All right. We'll note it and let staff know that there's been new staff also. So they're probably, since we hadn't met in a year, and I think we have to have
Yeah.
election of officers
Yeah.
at some point. So that may be for the next meeting that we have, even if it's a short one without applications. We should get together and just take stock of where we are. So, so noted for the record. Anyone else have any comments on the minutes? No?
No.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of
Again, Board Member
November 2nd.
Dan Noble made the motion. Nolan, you want to go for 3 for 3 today? Second it. Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, and we have approval of the minutes. Next order of business would be to adjourn. So,
Someone else? I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting of December 7th.
Oh, second that?
all right, we have and before we do that, I just want to wish everyone a great holiday season. Hope everybody's staying safe and hopefully we'll bid goodbye to this wretched year we've had and look forward to a new one. And maybe 2020 will never be said again, never be uttered again after this. So, all right. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
Although, did we take a vote? All those in favor? Aye. All right.
Aye.
Have a good one. Take care.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.